One of the more natural phenomena that can observe within a technique performed with velocity by a beginner is his will reflect on the same technique. We can see how his desire fulfills him with ki that will be transmitted to the movement until the execution of the technique deteriorates, filled of deformities. His desire and anxiety to make it work also make him forget the steps which compose the tsukuri, preparation, the kuzushi, imbalance, and kake, conclusion. Each part refers to a different manifestation of energy reverberation on the yuke's body, and together they inform us if the technique is being well performed. To exceed or to be under the optimal amount of ki can affect and turn it into a negative result. When we hear about emptiness, we commonly associate this conception to Mu within Aikijujutsu's techniques. Although we may find in other contexts referring to polarities, once in Aikijujutsu we have two energies, one against the other, in an inevitable way. The opposite of Mu is Yu, the totality, the interaction. And we could only let ourselves to experiment Yu when we permit to be empty. So our nature in Aikijujutsu is sometimes Mu, sometimes Yu. Analyzing the original concept of the strength and its transcendence, just by the fact that it comes from the Hara, we incur at mistakes by abstracting the physical angular concept. Each technique requires a specific angle to a specific purpose. Naturally, they can be performed by many angles that will provide a simple emptiness situation, where there is no objection to the trajectory of the movement, or it can provide what we call a compound emptiness, which is the angle related to a technical adaptation to the trajectory caused by the movement. If we abstract all knowledge Aikijujutsu demands about energy and take a very attempting look to our body center, we will realize in this point we could find a concentrated force that keeps functioning the superior and inferior extremities in our harmony. Just through an atomic perception, we can conclude that the hip functions are crucial to any corporal activity. When a practitioner gives emphasis to exercise this very singular central area for the development of the Hara's energy, it's because the energy expands itself through the hip. So, when we make reference to put the weight down, this energy must flow from the hip to the inferior part of our body. If the hip is not well positioned on a technique, the energy can advance to the knees and to the foot. This study is thus a little explanation of energy process of polarization. When the yuke attacks or holds the tori, he is yang, and the tori is yin. The inversion of those polarities is fragmentized in many movements, which the essence starts with kuzushi.